and we will start.
हम कितने प्लेटफॉर्म्स पे लाए हुए हैं? इंस्टाग्राम, फेसबुक एंड
इंस्टाग्राम, यूट्यूब। ये इंस्टाग्राम लाइव भी हो गया।
Are we good?
Yes. एक मिनट सेटिंग करने दो। इको कैंसिलिंग पे है सारा।
Okay, I think we are live.
Yes, we are live. Okay. आप start करें? Start. Sure. Assalamu alaikum everyone. So welcome to AMS session on on our upcoming cohort 4 specific, because we are planning to go live, and we are planning to start our cohort 4 induction by, I believe, by the end of this month.
By the end of this week, in fact. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to NIC Islamabad's platform today. We are here to discuss the Ask Me Anything. It's a session for you guys out there, so that you can come forward with your questions. What do you want to hear from us? Understand what we do, how we do, and what value we can add to your startup, your idea, your business, wherever you are standing in your entrepreneurial journey. So we are here today. We are live all across NIC platforms, all the social media, Facebook, Instagram, even on our YouTube channel as well. So today is going to be me and Kamran sir. And in the next coming episodes, you will be interacting with other team members from NIC Islamabad, so that you can have a more deeper understanding of how life at NIC is, and what sort of activities keep on happening, and how startups are engaged, or the networking is happening, or whether that be the Founder Institute curriculum. It could be your coaching, it could be your exposure visits and stuff. So you would understand a lot of things, what happens at NIC, and looking forward to your questions at the same time. Speaking of Founder Institute, Kamran sir, you have successfully conducted 3 cohorts of Founder Institute. What do you think in terms of the value that is being added through this platform? Founder Institute is perhaps, we are the only incubator in the country right now.
And NIC Faisalabad also.
And yes, it's managed by the same management.
Yeah.
So NIC Islamabad and Faisalabad are the only 2 incubators in Pakistan at the moment that are running.
They're running FI curriculum. So, so सबसे पहले थोड़ा सा introduction हो जाए, because for those who don't know us, so my name is Kamran Tawfiq Khan, and I'm the program manager at NIC Islamabad. Baba Mushtaq is the startup growth manager, और बाकी we have our team as well. लेकिन ये कि आज का session primarily is to address your questions, any questions that you have, especially because हमारे पास बहुत ज़्यादा over the course of time बहुत ज़्यादा queries आती हैं for those who are interested in joining NIC, और they were wondering कि हमारा next cohort की induction कब start हो रही है. So as I said, this is an inaugural session जिसमें हम बात कर रहे हैं कि for those who are interested to become part of NIC, what does it take and what's the process behind it? So first and foremost is before I answer FI wala question, Babar, I just want to clarify कि हमारी जैसी applications open होंगी, we'll definitely announce it on all of our platforms, ठीक है? And so the process, जो पूरा process होगा on how you have to apply, किस तरह करना है, so over the course of time हम different sessions करेंगे, AMS sessions भी होंगे, we'll also have open house as well, जिसमें you can come to NIC and experience it firsthand on what we do and how you can become part of it. To address your question, Founder Institute. So Founder Institute is, I'm myself an FI graduate back in 2015, और मेरे जो corporate career से entrepreneurial or startup ecosystem का जो introduction, that was thanks to this particular platform which we know as Founder Institute. 200 plus cities में इनकी chapters हैं. Udemy, you know, is very famous, obviously a unicorn now, for $4 billion की valuation है, and they are FI graduate. तो उनका बहुत स्ट्रक्चर्ड करिकुलम है. सो व्हाट वी डू इज इट्स वेरी 4.5 months का हमारा जो है प्रोग्राम होता है एफआई का, इन विच आपको अगले 2 से 3 साल की जो ग्रोथ है वो आपको एक्सपीरियंस होती है इफ यू डू द प्रोग्राम टू इट्स ट्रू स्पिरिट. So obviously we have weekly sessions, we have different what we call them company building assignments. We also have working groups जिसमें founders they create their own groups और आपस में वो अपने problems पे discuss करते हैं and whatever KPIs that they have to achieve उस पे वो एक दूसरे को push करते हैं. हमारे हर सेशन में, almost हर सेशन में we have a blend of local and international mentors. So we have today we have investor progress review. हमारे core 3 इस वक्त they are experiencing the FI curriculum. So we just recently had investor progress review. Today, in fact, was second day. Or we had mentor Chris from the US, Chicago City. He was live with us, and he gave very kind feedback and also opened office hours just so you'll be able to. So if once you become part of this particular program, you'll get a chance to interact with the local plus international players who can bring in wealth of knowledge plus experience, and they can open doors for you as well in terms of giving you market access, and plus also for those who are investable to some investment opportunities भी होती हैं. So that's a bit about FI. बाकी बाबर, since आप coaching को देखते हैं one-on-one, we provide one-on-one coaching. So I would like you to address what value does startup get through those coaching sessions?
Before we jump onto the question, I would like to answer one question that actually came on the live feed.
Okay. Now let's have a question as well.
Okay, Namal, if you can scroll down, please.
This is first question.
ये पहले question है फातिमा. So let's फातिमा Malik on.
So NIC में registration जो है वो इंशाल्लाह by Friday morning आपको website के ऊपर और सारे social media platforms के ऊपर application का link मिल जाएगा. It's a simple Google form और आगे जाके we are going to talk about आप किस तरीके से उस form को fill कर सकते हैं and how to go about answering all the questions that are going to be a part of the form. So stay tuned, and just sometime we'll come back to this part. But answering your question, it will be live by Friday morning.
Or as far as the application form is concerned, तो उसमें ये है कि हम obviously इसमें और भी sessions करेंगे. उसमें we'll have a very clear instructions on how to fill in the form, and so that you have better chance to be shortlisted, because in the end it's not just by filling in the form, and there's a lot to the process. So there are multi-round selections जिसमें for those who get eventually shortlisted, वो फिर they go through the final judging round, और उसमें फिर then we have Founder Institute का हमारा assessment test होता है, तो उसकी weightage होती है. Final judging round में we invite people from the industry to, so there's where shortlisted starters will get a chance to pitch, और उसमें से फिर जो final selection होती है, that they become part of the cohort. So that's the complete process. The first step obviously is to fill in the application form. So once we go live, हमारे applications live होंगे, हमारे socials पे you get to know, and that's when you fill in the form. Yeah. Any other question? हमारे पास और क्या है? हाँ, फातिमा ये question है कि I'm also founding engineer, also partial. बिल्कुल ठीक हो गया. Yeah. So what kind of starters are we looking for, Babar? What exactly are we looking for?
Right. So
and also the coaching वाला part आपने उस पे address करना है, and then you have to answer my what exactly are we doing? What kind of startups are we looking for?
Right. So let's start with the startups first. So we are looking for a blend of startups. Ideally, NIC Islamabad is positioned to be sector agnostic. However, we have our focus area as healthcare and artificial intelligence. So these are the two strong areas where we are looking out for candidates who have a working MVP. If you have basic traction, and if you have a good idea or understanding of what you want to develop, with the right ingredients. So we are more than happy to, welcome you on board for the 4th cohort journey. Once we initiate the process, it kind of, goes on a rolling basis. So please don't wait for applying. Don't wait for the final deadline. Get it sorted as your first priority Friday morning when the applications go live. Historically, we have received 800 to about 1,000, applications over the last 3 cohorts. And this time again, we are expecting a good turnout like always. So timing is going to be of an essence for a majority of you out there, I suppose. And at the same time, Kamran sir, coming back to the coaching part. So when we talk about the coaching process, it is a 3-tier process where we integrate subject matter experts, people who have the relevant experience from the industry within the same vertical, to come down, sit down, have a conversation with you, understand what you're trying to achieve, and then try to convert them into tangible goals, into milestones, into objectives that you're supposed to fulfill for your own self. These are going to be considered as your KPIs, or as we like to call it, moving the needle gauge. So these are the things through which we would also understand what sort of support you require, what sort of trainings do you need, what sort of exposure you should be subjected to. And while we do all of that, there are tons and tons of things happening at the NIC facility, which in a direct context supports all of the weak points that you have, or provides you with opportunities that you can explore. So ideally speaking, with the 3-tiered coaching process works phenomenal for people who are present in the facility and really want to take the full advantage of the overall course, rather than just focusing on your coaching, or just focusing on networking, or perhaps even just focusing on the Founder Institute. Founder Institute program is perhaps supported by international and local coaches as well. So once we understand the gist, once we understand what sort of a coach can blend in with you, with your mental chemistry, then we start working with international coaches, and of course the C-level coaches, as we discussed earlier. So Founder Institute also brings their set of own coaches, mentors, and apart from that, NIC Islamabad again will be having their own set of coaches and mentors. So it's a 3-tiered process, and a very complex drill down into your weak areas, your problem points, so that we can lay a concrete foundation that eventually is going to support you in the next phase, which is called the acceleration phase. And honestly, if you really want to qualify, if you really want to do something and take that forward, so acceleration should also be a part of your goal. It involves a lot of traction, it involves a lot of number crunching, and it involves a lot of next level information that probably is not out there most of the times. So for first-hand experiences, we are more than welcome to introduce you to our startups. In the coming days, we are also going to invite a couple of our founders from the pool of founders that we have cultivated at NIC here over the last 1.5 years. And having said that, within the last 1.5 years, we have achieved some exciting milestones that we would like to share with our audience today. One of the major outcomes over the last 1 year is the launch of our acceleration program. So NIC Islamabad is also, over the last 1 year, the country's first accelerator, where we are giving out grants up to 5 million PKR. The grants are being supported by Ignite, the National Technology Fund, and they are more than happy to support startups. The only requirement is that you have to be a graduate of any of the NIC programs. So with such a minimum requirement, Kamran sahab, I think it's a great opportunity for all the startup community out there to come down, set up their basics, and then go for a growth.
So why should they apply in the first place to NIC? That's something, because हमारे पास बहुत सारे queries आती हैं और आपसे भी लोग, people approach you as well, and myself, LinkedIn पे messages आ रहे होते हैं, Instagram पे even, or different platforms. They're from different and people ask like, why should they apply, and what will they get back? So the thing is and that is something which needs to be answered, because obviously people don't know much about what exactly NIC is and what value does it bring, especially for those early stage startups who they have something tangible, but they're struggling maybe to make it count and to convert their MVP or the basic into a product market fit, so that they they start getting some traction from the market, because the market access itself is a very difficult thing. Although with the advent of AI, जब से AI आया है, और there are a lot of tools they are available to, so अभी जिंदगी बड़ी आसान हो गई. So now you see stories, single person, so one man army, solopreneurs can now run a startup. From ideation से लेके उनकी product जो है within no time बन जाती है. So अब there are tools available, and plus the kind of exposure that NIC gives to for those who really want to make it count, and जिनके जो passion है. Again, हमारे पास the success story that we have seen is हमने founder में एक चीज देखी है. Apart from obviously there are a lot of things that we look for. The founder का background कितना है, उसका experience है, उसकी team कितनी तगड़ी है, market कितनी बड़ी है. लेकिन इन सब चीजों में जो एक चीज जो कि common, जो कि मैं I've seen in those success stories which I've seen, जो हमारे साथ जो top performers हैं, are the one they bring a lot of passion, and they it really उनके लिए वो passion जो है उनके काम में नजर आता है. और and उनके साथ काम करने का हमें मजा भी आता है, because again, so if a founder who is passionate really means it, so अगर वो हमें even odd timings पे भी हमें reach out करते हैं, I'm more than happy to answer the calls, or talk to them to address whatever issue they want to discuss. So passion is very important. So if you really want to do something, and you have that expertise as well, and plus you bring in that passion, so I think it's absolutely it's the best platform as far as NIC is concerned. हमारे उसके questions आने. If someone has only idea, can he apply? Yes, absolutely, Hasnan. You can come. You can definitely apply for NIC Islamabad even with an idea. However, again, idea has to make sense. It has to, there has to be a market for it. So, अगर कोई validation भी आपने किया, अगर आपके पास सिर्फ idea है, तो और आपने उस idea को validate कर दिया from the market by talking to your audience, and so आप now you have done some homework, and उस तरह के idea अगर मेरे पास आएगा, so I think it will get more weightage as compared to someone who is just an idea लेकिन पीछे कोई homework नहीं किया. So I hope that answered the question. Yes, you can apply. Then we have Jawad. Can any guy who just founded IT company of mobile and web can also apply? आपकी IT company की वजह से found की है, web development आप कर रहे हो. If you are doing it for others, then you cannot. But if you आप services company बन जाते हो. But in case you are developing something for yourself, so if a product base आपकी अपनी product, so yes, you can definitely apply. Okay, who cannot apply? Question here. Next question is who cannot apply? If you are an NGO, you cannot apply. If you have a traditional brick and mortar business, then in that, so there has to be a tech element as long as as far as your idea is concerned, or whatever startup that you have. Yes, आप उसमें spend करते हो.
So जिस तरह आप बात कर रहे थे कामरान साहब के foundations आप लोग lay down करते हैं FI के through, and it's a whole holistic approach that we have here at the NIC. Another interesting thing that we have noticed in founders is the ability to execute. Ideas are there, of course, we accept ideas, we understand ideas, and at the same time, we see a lot of people who come and have the passion of doing it, utilizing all the resources that we have to offer, bringing all the value to the table, and then, taking things forward. We have had cases where an idea in the month of May 2024 was incubated in the first cohort, and right now is almost a year down the line, successfully running a team of 12 agents and developers. So these are the kind of success stories that you can harvest at NIC, provided you are willing to take that extra mile, you're willing to be a part of a lot of conversations, a lot of understandings, why we support you doing your business. At the same time, we want to support you in running it efficiently. So there would be a lot of trainings, there would be a lot of exposure to technology that you can integrate in order to help yourself becoming better. And for that, we try to enable our startups with as much support as we can. And at this point, I'd like to bring to you, the the attention of general audience that we also provide development tools such as Google Cloud Credits. All the programs that have been running at NIC are successfully supported by Google Cloud Credits that are available for development. It varies. We have a tier process. So depending on your capabilities, depending on your standing, depending on a couple of other technical aspects, we decide what sort of tier that you qualify for. Similarly, we have an arrangement with Amazon Web Services. There's certain cloud support credits that are available to all the startups, all the qualifying startups. There are certain criteria that you need to fulfill. Similarly, there are other tools that are available through the NIC platform, and at the same time, the Founder Institute curriculum. Once you graduate from that also brings a set of perks as you grow in the program. And the common element that we identified over the last couple of months is that if you are only focused on growth, then only you will be able to make utilization of all of these support credits or the tools or the services that we bring on the table. So the founder grid, I think, perhaps is the most important element when we take applications into consideration. How well managed teams you have or the capacity to run teams. At the same time, your business idea, that has to be supported by, as Kamran sir mentioned, your due diligence, your homework, your understanding of the market, how to scale in the market, or how do penetrate the market. This is the sort of basics we expect you to come forward with. We help you with starting from the scratch, from as small as building your business model. But for that, there has to be a business. There has to be something that has enabled you to come forward, fill in this application, answer all the questions, and then be a part of this beautiful program that we have for the community.
Questions before we answer those questions, I just want to add one thing. If you, let's suppose you're a tech background and you think, okay, I don't know how to do business, मैं तो tech ही हूँ, I can crack the code, and technically आप strong हो, I think you should definitely apply, because वो जो building blocks होते हैं किसी startup के success के, so tech is just part of it, but उसकी जो बाकी जो चीजें हैं, the kind of support, so NIC program does give that, वो चीजों को full करने के लिए वो, so we do provide in terms of our curriculum, in terms of all the training sessions that we provide, and in terms of the coaching sessions जिसके हमारे already बात हो चुकी है. Let's answer some of the questions. Sara, आपका question, I think the requirement was a bachelor degree. No, there is no such as requirement of a degree. I have example of it. So in cohort 3 we have a 13-year-old kid, who from all the odds got applied, and now she's part of the program. So age या degree या इस तरह से, there's no such as in such requirement. The start of उसके बाद अगला, how can you help small business owners? If you could, Ishwa, if you could elaborate this question, because again, हम generic businesses को हम नहीं कह रहे. So if it's a tech-based venture, then definitely it makes sense. लेकिन ये कि general businesses, small business, थोड़ा सा आप इस question को और elaborate करेंगे, so then I'll be able to answer this question. Or business, small business वाला. Numan, or
please go down.
We have any other questions? दूसरे platform पे इधर check करेंगे. Who can apply? So anyone can apply as long as they have.
So just to clarify the concept, बहुत सारे लोगों को आप लोगों के सवाल होते हैं जी, who can apply, who can be a part of NIC, मैं किस तरह हिस्सा बन सकता हूँ. देखिए जी, NIC में हिस्सा बनने के लिए तो आपको एक स्टार्टअप आइडिया होना जरूरी है, एक कॉन्सेप्ट होना जरूरी है. हमें इस बात से हरगिज कोई एतराज नहीं है या कोई requisition है. It's not a prerequisite. It is not something that we want you to have in order to be at NIC. As I said, it's the founder grid. Whether you come from a corporate background, whether you have had some failed businesses, if you have had multiple businesses and still you want to give a try with a startup, with a new technology or something, we are more than happy to support all of you. चाहे आपका ताल्लुक पाकिस्तान के किसी भी कोने से, इलाके से, कस्बे से, शहर से ताल्लुक है, आप NIC इस्लामाबाद का हिस्सा बन सकते हैं. एज बैरियर नहीं है, कोई उम्र की लिमिट नहीं है, आपका किसी भी एज से ताल्लुक है. जिस तरह कामरान साहब मेरे कलीग आपको बता रहे थे कि हमारे पास थर्ड कोहॉर्ट में एक जो सबसे यंगेस्ट एंटरप्रेन्योर है, एंड आई थिंक कामरान सर, she would be the youngest entrepreneur in all of the NICs.
That's what I think so, because I haven't verified it, but yeah.
But I think
so. I think she's the youngest.
Youngest. to be a part of any of the national incubation programs in the country.
And she's doing a good job, pretty decent job as far as the program is concerned. Yeah. She just हमारे Restream progress which she got a very good score. The point is again, so there's age limit to कोई सी नहीं है, background कोई सी नहीं है. Again, for मामला आपको question है how to apply. अच्छा who to apply. How to apply. Okay, how to apply is हमारे application जैसे ही live होती है हमारे सारे social platforms पे we'll be announcing हमारे applications live. उसमें link होगा, आपने link पे जाना है, उस पे सारी instructions होंगी. That will include कि आपने form exactly what kind of questions are there, and you just have to fill in the form. ChatGPT, please guys, for those who are interested, इसको जरा आप ChatGPT को बिल्कुल use करें. मैं नहीं कह रहा कि आप ना use करो, लेकिन there has to be human elements, so prompt engineer the hell out of it when you are answering the questions, because in the end, अगर आप because having seen all these applications for last 1+ years, हम कोई more than कोई 2000+ some applications देख चुके हैं, and उसमें पता चल जाता है कि ये पूरा ChatGPT है. तो आंसर आप अपने इनपुट के साथ आप सारे सवाल अपने उसके पूरी ईमानदारी से उसका जवाब दें. That's what I will say once you are applying और जब आप फॉर्म फिल कर रहे हो एप्लीकेशन का. अगला क्वेश्चन हमारे पास है, we are doing research in climate change, and so I can absolutely, Thomas, you can apply. if आप रिसर्च कर रहे हो रिसर्चर्स के लिए, फॉर एग्जांपल हमारे पास हम इस चीज को बहुत ज्यादा बहुत सारा हमारे पास स्ट्रॉन्ग एम्फेसिस है दैट फॉर दोज रिसर्चर्स हु आर करंटली डूइंग सम काइंड ऑफ रिसर्च इन एकेडेमिया और बट दे डोंट नो हाउ टू कमर्शलाइज देयर रिसर्च, तो हम उसको बहुत ज्यादा इंकरेज कर रहे हैं. तो हमारे coming days we'll also have session on commercialization of research. It will be led by our project director Sayyid Ahmed Masood Sahab. तो do it, उसमें भी for those researchers जो कि let's suppose PhDs हैं in their respective fields and they have something which has the potential to get patent या IP उसका बनता है, so आपका बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छा चांस है कि आप आपके ना सिर्फ आप अप्लाई करो बट आप शॉर्ट लिस्ट भी हो जाओ. So मैं बहुत इंकरेज करूँगा रिसर्चर्स को कि they should definitely apply in the cohort 4. उससे ऊपर हमारा कोई क्वेश्चन था?
And sir, I think इस पॉइंट के ऊपर आप ये भी मेंशन कर सकते हैं कि we have already supported 3 professors जो कि आइडिया स्टेज के ऊपर या अपने प्रोटोटाइप्स के साथ हमारे पास आए थे और आज हम लोग उनको उनकी कमर्शियलाइजेशन की जर्नी में उनको सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं.
हमारे पास सेकंड कोहोर्ट में भी had 1 प्रोफेसर साहब और थर्ड कोहोर्ट में भी have around 3 to 4 प्रोफेसर्स जो कि एकेडेमिया they are doing a pretty decent job because obviously आप academic mindset से commercialized mindset it takes time because that's a different hat that you have to get. You have to think it कैसे commercially कैसे viable होगा whatever the research that you have. Okay, the question is, does NIC provide any monetary support? No, we do not. So हम पैसे नहीं देते लेकिन हम बहुत कुछ और ऐसा देते हैं. Babar, you want to address this or should I address this?
चले जी, to sum it up, हम आप में एक वैल्यू एडिशन करते हैं through non-monetary benefits, non-monetary terms, I'm sorry. हम लोग किसी किस्म की इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं करते हैं आप स्टार्टअप्स के अंदर, ना ही हम किसी किस्म की ग्रांट देते हैं, ना ही कोई मॉनेटरी स्टाइपेंड है. So it is a completely pro bono sort of a commitment. आप एज अ स्टार्टअप हमारे पास इंक्यूबेट हो रहे हैं, आप एज अ फाउंडर हमारे पास आ रहे हैं, आप हमें एज एन इंटर्न नहीं ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं. और वी आर लुकिंग फॉर दोज ब्राइट माइंडेड इंडिविजुअल्स के जो कि इस चीज को वैल्यू को एक्नॉलेज करके इसको यूटिलाइज कर सकें. सो मॉनेटरी बेनिफिट आई थिंक should not be one of your priorities or your focus areas. हाँ, ये जरूर हम कहते हैं कि आप हमारे पास आइडिया स्टेज पर भी अगर आते हैं और आप में कुछ करने की सलाहियत है, आप करना चाहते हैं, तो हम बहुत छोटे मुख्तसर टाइम में आपकी वो जर्नी को मोनेटाइजेशन की तरफ जरूर लेकर जाते हैं.
चलो, मॉनेटरी सपोर्ट अब देखें, आई डोंट नो व्हाई यू आस्क दिस क्वेश्चन हसनैन, बिकॉज व्हाट्स in the end, if you have what it takes and if you're building something and you really mean it and you really want to make it big, then absolutely you should definitely apply. So you should apply for the right reason. That's what I would say, because and मुझे भी इस तरह के we are looking for startups जिसमें वो grit हो, जिसमें वो passion हो, and even अगर उनके कुछ areas weak भी हैं as far as अगर वो technically बहुत strong है but business side is weak, no worries at all. So you are covered. All right. हमारे दूसरे उस पे भी कुछ question था, so I think let's answer this question also. हो गया? Issue और कोई questions? We don't have any questions over there. अच्छा, हाँ. So we are not doing any jobs. So the internships या jobs अगर आप देख रहे हैं तो I think so this particular session is primarily for our upcoming cohort 4 or cohort 4 की induction we are about to start और उसी सिलसिले में if you have any questions anything.
So I think I have a very interesting question here, so I'd like the audience to also follow this particular one. It's a very interesting one, I'd say. So in an era increasingly defined by digital sovereignty and technological geopolitics, how does NIC prepare startups to build indigenous innovation that is globally competitive, not geopolitically dependent? Excellent. I think
good question, Shahram, very good.
So first of all, you need to understand the entire ecosystem. All of the NICs are developing, building under the umbrella of Ignite. And that exactly happens to be the main goal, the motto, or the North Star for all of us here working at all of these incubation facilities. We are dedicatedly working on the challenges that are faced by not only our corporate sector, that involves your FMCGs, that involves your oil and gas, that involves your aviation, that involves your healthcare, that involves your e-commerce. But at the same time, we're also focused on developing these hardcore security-based solutions that can be called as indigenous homegrown solutions. So we are always on the lookout for that. And Alhamdulillah, I'd say we have been pretty successful. Now, how we empower the entire ecosystem, that is through our presence here in Islamabad, which gives us, a lot of access to a lot of decision makers that, come down to us when it comes to, identifying technology or, identifying solutions for their problems. We are constantly in touch with the Ministry of Climate Change. We are working with, the Ministry of Planning. We are working with a lot of other ministerial organizations in order to mainstream the support that is required for these technology-based startups to establish and grow themselves, whether that be in terms of getting approvals for a particular hardware, whether that be, getting an approval for, a prototyping of certain sort of a device or, whatever you would like to call it. So, we are integrating the entire ecosystem. So this way, all of these bodies can come forward, not only sit down and listen to you, try to understand what your problem is, but also do this for the purpose of finding a way out rather than just shutting the door. So the constant support from the ministerial, layer from the bureaucracy, at the same time, the commitment from the private sector. We are currently being supported by 3 of the biggest companies or, the corporate giants in the country. Our consortium lead is Hashu Group at the moment. As you all know, the legacy, the PCs, they all are a part of the Hashu chain of hotels in Pakistan, along with their real estate and other ventures. At the same time, we are also supported by Fauji Foundation, the biggest conglomerate in the country, with all of their muscle power, providing us with the prototyping or testing or scaling opportunities that are needed by all of these startups. And at the same time, we are also supported by Telenor Pakistan, again, one of the biggest telcos in the country, has also come forward, not only sharing their expertise, but their support, also sharing different programs with us, such as the upcoming Mentor Exchange program. So all of these, commitments, apart from, the other 150 or 160 partners that we have, these are the few main ones that I wanted to highlight. I would also, just at the same note, mention about our specialty in healthcare. We are the only incubator in the country which has the mandate of incubating healthcare startups, which is supported by our network of partners. That includes Rahman Medical from Peshawar, Aga Khan Hospitals from Karachi, Shifa Hospital, Islamabad, along with a chain of other laboratories, local and regional, that are providing support through us. We are also working very closely with the National Health Agency in Islamabad to identify solutions that can be, brought forward to the general public of Islamabad, and then, regionally and nationally and globally. So healthcare happens to be our focus area, supported by all of these, healthcare giants, I'd like to say, because these are the people who have the ability to get your ideas to life or take things forward to the next level with their sort of clinical support and guidance, mentorship. It's very convenient. Kangaroo Care, for that matter, is one of our incubated startups, which is manufacturing Pakistan's first homegrown baby incubators. Similarly, STI in the vertical of aerospace has developed Pakistan's first indigenous drones, which has the capacity of harvesting your data locally in Pakistan. So these are two very prime examples from the first two cohorts, I'd say. And I believe you would now have a fair understanding of how NIC Islamabad is working on the technological front to support the movement of homegrown indigenous technology solutions, whether that be defense, that be e-commerce, healthcare, oil and gas, climate change. We are dedicated to making Pakistan a better place.
Thank you, Babar. I think that was very comprehensive. You answered it. Let's have other questions. So we have a question on how to build a good pitch deck, and then I have another question. So let's answer these two questions. How do you know your idea is viable? Okay. So I'll start with the first one, because pitching is something which I've been doing with these guys for quite some time, and developing a good pitch deck is something. It's all about covering all the essential items. It depends on who is your target audience. So if you should have, so I'll just break it down. The first thing is that you should have multiple pitch decks, multiple type of pitch decks. There are some are investor specific, some are your customers, and some are your partner specific. So if you're looking for customers, you'll have a different pitch deck. If you're looking for investment, then you have a different pitch deck. And then if you're looking for partnerships, you're looking for just to bring some new partners on board, then your pitch deck is completely different. But nevertheless, there are few essential items that are always there in your deck, starting with your hook. That's how you start. But what exactly is the problem that you're trying to solve? What is your solution to that problem? What is your value proposition? How are you different from the competition? What extra is you? What is your business model? How are you going to make money? What's your primary revenue stream? And then if you, depending upon which stage you are, so if you already have some customers, or if you're already in the market, so what's your traction like? What are your numbers as far as the revenues are concerned? Then what's your GTM strategy? How if you are in the pre-revenue stage, how exactly you're going to go to market? What is the market size? Then that's another thing that you should cover. Who are your competitors? So obviously, you should know about your competition and how are you different from them. Then you should also talk about if there's what exactly who you are, what's your team like. So you as a founder, who's your co-founder? If you have any founder, if you have any co-founder, if you have any team, so it's their background and all that. And obviously, in the end, it's your ask. What exactly are you asking in that tech? So that's pretty much the basics of how to build, the things that you should be covered. How to build it, obviously. So you have to build. So it's an ongoing process. So you'll build your first tech, and then it will evolve as the time passes, based on the feedback that you get. Okay, the second question is, how do you know your idea is viable? You will only know if you talk to your customer, your target audience. So if you have an idea, you think there's a problem, and there's a particular sector which is facing that problem, you have to validate that. So how would you validate? You'll do customer discovery. That's what you call customer discovery. And in customer discovery, you'll be talking to your target audience, your customers, potential customers. Right now, you just have an idea. So they will tell you whether your idea is viable or not. And obviously, so in the end, market will tell you. You have to talk to your potential clients. I hope that answers the question. Because if I were to go more into details, I can do a complete workshop on this particular topic of customer discovery. And if you're from ideation to product development, but it's going to take at least a couple of hours. We don't have much that time, I believe.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so next question is, does NIC provide virtual? Yes, absolutely. So we have virtual startups in all of two or three cohorts that we had. We have, irrespective, we are looking for startups from all across Pakistan. Obviously, for those who are based in Islamabad and Rawalpindi, they have, they have better, they can come to the facility however, as far as all the persons concerned, they are equal for all the startups. So we have startups from all across Pakistan. We have startups from Karachi, from Lahore, from Ahmedabad, from Mansur. So from all across Pakistan, we have startups. So yes, the answer is yes. You can as a virtual incubation option is there. All right. So Shahram has another question. Shahram is asking, what would be your guys' genuine advice for youngsters like whom? So it's an incomplete question. So if we say like me, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you, Baba, you want to give any advice to Shahram?
I think you should go first.
No, I think you should.
Okay. Shahram, you have another question?
I was aspiring to be an entrepreneur. What does okay? So that's a complete question. Okay. So and where does the line draw between taking risks and playing it safe?
Playing it safe.
You can't play safe, Shahram. If you're building something, you have to be a risk taker, but you have to. It has to be calculated risk. Obviously, you do your homework and then you see first. Just test the waters. You have to test the waters before jumping into the ocean, right? Yeah.
So Shahram, I'd like to suggest that you should be daring enough to take your challenges head on. If you really want to be an entrepreneur, it's not an easy journey. It's not a 9-to-5 job. It's not a predefined set of KPIs or a typical day that you're supposed to have for every 320 or 10 odd days that you work. It's a very different journey. It's a very interesting journey. It's a very difficult journey. And at the same time, it is a journey full of a lot of learning and growing into it. So yes, there are success stories. There are people who have had their luck by their side and able to develop a unicorn in their first attempt. But I think that's pretty rare, and there's a lot more than luck involved if you want to achieve something of that sort. However, in general, I think you should be ready to live a life that is constantly going to evolve. You would have to evolve into roles, into wear multiple hats, do different things, even maybe doing inventory yourself, or maybe cleaning your office space for that matter. So you have to be prepared for all of that, and there is no red line, I'd say. As long as you think you have the capacity, the numbers are in your favor, you're able to achieve that dream, willing to go that extra mile, then you have all the ground available.
Shahram, if you are young and if you want to become an entrepreneur, just do it. If you have so your age, if you are young and you can take risks because what will happen? Maximum what will happen? You'll fail. So what? You'll have some learning, and the next time once you try, you will have some learning behind your second attempt. So just do it. That's what I feel. If you have any anything you are aspiring entrepreneur and you want to do something, just do it then. Just do it. That's what I'll have to say to you. The startup or idea are only limited to healthcare or anything in general, but should be tech relevant or AI. Fatma, startup or your idea is not limited to health tech or AI. It has to be a tech specific, so it has to be a tech element. It can't be a generic business or services based business. So it has to be a broad based. So yeah, but it's not specifically limited to health tech or AI. How do you support participants from other cities who are not living in Islamabad? So we have a virtual program, so it's offered all our sessions. Let's suppose if I were to talk about our Founder Institute, so we have weekly sessions of Founder Institute, and our virtual startups they join through virtual setup. So it's through our Zoom link. They can join our sessions. They can talk, obviously, interact with our mentors. So all the perks are there for all the virtual participants who become part of the program. So all kind of support that we are providing for startups who are based in Islamabad, the same support is provided to all those who are virtually. Obviously, for those who are based in Islamabad, so if we have any mentors here and they come, to NIC. So for those who are based in Islamabad, they have a chance to obviously come and meet them in person. But for virtually virtual startups can also interact with them, but that has to be virtual. So I hope that answers the question. In terms of traveling and accommodation, we don't provide any traveling or accommodation facility, services. So if you want to, let's suppose you want to come in, obviously you have to do it by your own. One other quick questions. We don't have any other questions. We have a lot of people who are joining in. Okay. Who do you think is a best stage at which a startup can apply to NIC and best stage to raise funding?
Funding का नाम सुनते ही आप
फंडिंग का नाम सुन के मैं तुम्हें देखता हूँ ना कि obviously you funding guy. Okay. Okay. Best stage. I'll answer the first part and then you answer the second part of it. So who do you think is the best stage at? What do you think is the best stage? So best stage for us, if you have something, so if you have a working prototype, you're at early stage, you have a product, you have done some market research, and you have already also developed a product around it, and maybe you have some customers also. That is the best stage for as far as it doesn't mean that for those who are not who doesn't have any product, they can't apply. But if you have a working product and you have some kind of traction, you have a better chance. That's all I can say. Now it's part of the second part of the question is best stage to raise funding. Probably you want to address for sure.
So best stage to raise funding, of course, is a stage where you feel you have the appetite to consume those funds and at the same time to reflect the growth that will be fueled by that investment. So if you think you're ready at an early stage with some basic traction, then definitely go for it. If you think once you're on the pathway to growth, then you want to raise a round, absolutely fine. The entire thing depends on your ability on how you can get back to those numbers, crunching in a way that they appear favorable in terms of your revenue, in terms of the number of opportunities that you have closed, in terms of your growth, your operations, your team. So, you should have that appetite from a business perspective, from a business side, and then, follow the journey of taking raising around and converting it into, probably your fuel or, achieving a certain milestone. We at NIC Islamabad, we usually take forward our growth-based startups that have proven their business model, the ones that have completed their customer discovery. Once they have completed their investment readiness program, then only we take them forward for raising investments. We connect them with the community of investors that NIC Islamabad has cultivated, and they bring, along with themselves for decades and decades of, experience of raising funds and, investing money into ideas and making money out of it. So along with the angel investor syndicates, we are also supported by Fatma Gobi Ventures, Sai Ventures, Endeavor Ventures, just to name a few. Park Launch also happens to be a partner at NIC Islamabad, and which gives our startups an exclusive access to Park Launch events that are happening across the world. And as you all know, Park Launch has cultivated the biggest Pakistani diaspora community under the umbrella of Ali Fahad, and it formally converting them into angel syndicates, supporting startups not only in terms of raising rounds but also providing soft landing opportunities in different countries. So that is the sort of experience, that is the sort of funding avenues we bring in for our startups. And of course, the best ones get the best opportunities in the pipeline, whether that be a grant from the Ignite, the National Technology Fund, or that could also be the funding coming in from many of our partner companies. So there are, a lot of opportunities here.
I'll just add one thing. If you were to ask me, based on when I was wearing the hat of an entrepreneur back in the days when I switched from my corporate job, is that at that time I used to think that funding is very important, and startups should definitely get funding. But now over the course of time, and in the end, it's all about focusing on your customers. So if you should bootstrap or as long as you can, so don't think about funding at a very early stage. You should all talk about you should think about the bootstrap as well. All right. So we have any other questions?
We have a comment.
We have a comment. Okay,
Yes.
Farmanla has a comment. So we visited Islamabad to attend an event and had a chance to meet the team at Islamabad. So Noman and his team welcomed us. Okay.
So Noman, thank you so much.
Noman, thank you so much. And without any hesitation, they said, of course you can. Okay.
Yes, Noman, thank you for making us proud. So Noman is our IT head. He looks after all of the IT related operations at the facility, and he ensures that all of us are connected seamlessly, just the way we are connected today in this first session for the launch of our 4th cohort. And so Noman is the guy who keeps us up and alive and connected with all of you. Thank you, Noman, for your hard work.
All right, so let's have another question. So is it necessary to have MVP to apply? Can't we apply with a vision, just like I just made my startup along with working on the app too? But you don't have you don't have a working MVP. Fair enough. You have an idea. So if you have an idea, have you validated your idea? What exactly? How did you validate it? It's you made your startup. What do you mean by making your startup along with working on the app too? Again, so if you're a techie, you always think of solution first, and then once you have a solution, you have a product, then you start looking for what kind of problem it will solve, and you start looking for the problem. So that's the wrong way of as far as developing any product or anything is concerned. First thing is what kind of problem it is that you're trying to solve. I think this was a follow-up question. I'm collaborating with International Nutrition University. We had one pitch, okay, but for a project here, MVP is on a progress. You can apply, okay, you can definitely apply for the program. That's the first thing. If you have, pitched your idea and you have won, that's a good thing. So you have some kind of validation. But in the end, the real validation comes in from the customers, for those who will be giving you money for whatever you're doing. So in the end, actual validation comes from the market. So even if you don't have a product, without a product, you can get the validation from the market. And there are so many examples of so many big unicorns. If I start giving examples that. So Dropbox is a very famous example. So Dropbox, when they just had a landing page, and from the landing page they got they got pre-orders, and they didn't have any product whatsoever, but they had an interest from the people. So before they developed a product, they already had customers waiting in for them. And that's how your approach should be. So you should first identify who are the customers to whom you're solving a problem, and are they willing to pay for the solutions that you're providing to address their problem. Okay, is there any particular sector? So let's have this question. So is there any particular sector that you guys are looking for? We are not looking for any particular sector. So we are sector agnostic. Irrespective of any sector, you're most welcome to apply. Although Baba mentioned that, we do have, health tech and deep tech. So deep tech includes AI, blockchain, cybersecurity, quantum computing. So these areas, if you have any kind of product in these areas, then definitely you have a good chance. But it doesn't mean that people from other sectors can't apply. All right. How to start a career at NIC as a student? Okay, so we do have student startups, although being a student startup has its own challenges.
I think NIC as a student of dietetics.
You are hiring interns. We're not hiring interns right now. Sorry.
So sorry to disappoint you, but we are not looking for a dietist. I mean, I don't know why you would, come and work at an incubation center.
I think she's looking for internship. That's what she's asking. So no, we're not. So just to answer the question, we're not offering any kind of jobs or not offering any kind of internship. So this particular session is primarily for our upcoming cohort. So we are looking for bright minds. We are looking for those what we call them, the outliers who think they have what it takes to change the world, and they have something, and they're passionate about it. They have identified some kind of problem, and they think they have the solution for it. We are looking for you guys. Most welcome to apply. What are timings for teams in NIC? Like, what if someone applying an NIC is a university student? Can he and his team can be doing work at night? Like timings are 24/7. We don't have 24/7 facility, unfortunately. So we have dedicated time from 9 to 6. That's what the time, official time, but not 24/7. But even if for the university students, again, you have to manage if you get a chance to get selected. Good. Bila question can say. Being startup, it's very common to get so many ideas. It's hard to focus on how do you build a purpose around one startup and focus just on it. If you have so many ideas, well, obviously there are people who have a lot of ideas, but why again? What idea is to pursue? So what idea you want to pursue is how to focus on one thing. It's a good question, but in the end, you would only pick one thing which has some potential. So if there's a problem exists, and the problem is big enough, and so it's not just to specific niche, and so if the problem is big, it has the potential to go global also. Then definitely, and you do your due diligence and you talk, do your customer discovery. And if the market validates that yes, the problem is there, then definitely you should focus on that. And if you have some kind of passion of so we have again I'll again focus same thing, Babar, that and then your perseverance, your passion is what takes you. So if you sometimes but it doesn't mean you should fall in love with your idea. That is something. So you might. So market says something else, and you in your mind you have something else. Market will tell you whether your idea makes sense or not. Okay, so I think the
next one is an interesting one. I'm a solo founder. My company is at a stage where we are cash flow positive. Our total team size is 26. It's also bootstrap. How can NIC help? So I think we are the ones who would provide you with the enabling environment. What sort of connections you need? What sort of trainings do you need? What are your gaps in terms of running the business, operations? We'll dissect your business and try to understand how we can make it more efficient through what sort of trainings, mentorship programs, or exchange programs, whatever we can do to fix that particular challenge of yours. At the same time, we also take into consideration you as a founder, as a manager, as a leader, someone who is going to eventually scale a company. And scaling companies aren't difficult. You have to wear multiple hats, so you also have to keep an eye on your set of talents and continue improving yourself as a founder by learning new skills, by interacting with different people, understanding what your customer needs. So I think we can definitely enable you for growth. Take this opportunity as a learning curve for yourself, as an entrepreneur, as someone who has successfully, scaled from 1 to 2 or maybe a 26 people team. And you should come to us with a vision of converting those 26 employees into 260 employees, at least by multiplying it by 100. So that's what we would like you to aim for, so that we can again provide you with the environment that will enable you to grow.
We could say your next question, Nitin, because I think
we're running short on time. We'll have the last three questions, in fact.
Okay, let's have the last few questions that we have. Super question now. I think we missed her. Can you break down the phases of cohort 4 from application to selection? Okay, let's do that, because that's a very valid and relevant question. So, as soon as our applications are live, so as soon as the application goes live, so the first step obviously is to apply, and you just have to fill in the application form. All the questions that are there in the form, you just address them, and so that's the first phase. So that's the first thing that you should do. Once we have all the application, when the application is closed, so we'll be doing obviously the initials of, so with the first round of shortlisting is done by internal team at NIC, and then there's a second round in which, so for the first, for those who get shortlisted from the first round, they'll be called on for the interviews, and we'll do some one-on-one interviews with those shortlisted candidates. Out of those, then there will be another shortlisting, and so those shortlisted will go to do two things. First is obviously they will be given a link to apply for the FI assessment test. It's an online test, and it's obviously in which we see it's basically, so we call it a DNA assessment test. So we have the founder DNA or not. So that holds some weightage. And then second part of it is so the shortlisted candidates will be invited for the final judging round. That will be so that will take place, in which we will be inviting judges from the industry and from the startup ecosystem. And they will obviously be listening to your pitch. That's why, because so you'll get a chance to pitch in front of them. And from that, the final result will take place, and that from there, we'll select the final cohort. So that's the complete process. I've just, because obviously if I were to go into details, it's going to take a lot of time, but I've just simplified it to the best of my abilities. And if you have any questions, then it's fine. When will the next cohort start? So the next cohort will start in October, and so it's cohort 4. It's not cohort 7. So it's cohort 4 is what we're looking for. So I think we don't have any more questions, and we have just hit time. So anything you want to add?
I think just keep a lookout for the announcements on all our social media handles and other platforms. Once the applications are live, the link will be available on all the social media handles. Please make sure that you take all the questions very seriously, answer them precise to the point, make it as clear as possible so that we can understand what exactly you're trying to build. And looking forward to seeing some exciting applications and supporting some great ideas, turning dreams into reality. Thank you so much, everyone.
All right, guys. Thank you so much, and looking forward to having your applications once we go live. Thank you so much. Take care.